Hi everyone, it's Ian from DIY Home and Gardening. 25th of February, finally getting on to doing some seed sowing. And today, the main lot I'm doing is tomatoes. So if I turn the camera around and we can have a look as to which varieties I've chosen. So last year made a proper effort to get through some of my seeds that I had, really try and whittle down the varieties that I was growing, and my plan was just to do 12 varieties. That was it. I've ended up with double that, pretty much. So let's have a look to start with. So whilst these are not actual tomatoes, they are tomatillos. They grow pretty much the same, and I'm going to be starting them at the same time nonetheless. So that variety there, Tomatillo Verdolino, I grew last year, got an amazing crop from just 3 plants. Nice sized fruits, about, I don't know, slightly smaller than golf ball size, but absolute stacks of those, very tasty, very useful. So obviously this year I've added in a purple. Then on to tomatoes. So Super Marmande is my go-to, always a go-to for beefsteak type. I've added in Pantano as another beefsteak type. Now this is an old heirloom variety, Italian heirloom, meant to have amazing flavour, good sizing and good robustness when growing outside. So that's key for me because hopefully, as some of you would have seen my previous tomato videos, I grow all my tomatoes outside. So outdoor robustness, toughness, resistance to disease, etc. is all important to me. Last year I added in this variety, Honeycomb, which produced good sized trusses of golden fruits, nice and sweet, really good in flavour. So therefore carrying on with that, certainly for this year anyway. It is an F1 variety, so F1 basically means you can't save your own seed and have it come true to form, unlike an old heritage one which you can save your seed on. Burpees long keeper, again tried that last year on the basis that it'd been having some good reviews in terms of the longevity of fruits that can be kept on the truss, and once picked, kept in the kitchen, you know, up to a month, 2 months for keeping time. Certainly we got over a month of keeping time and a good flavour also. So that's a winner. Koralik, I was going to stop doing that, but again, over the last couple of years, it's proved itself to be so reliable, good amounts of crop, good flavour, nice and sweet, although the fruits are a little bit small and the plant's a little bit erratic. But yeah, it's a good plant. It's meant to be less resistant to blight, but I've not found it to have any issues. Tomato Bloody Butcher, good size, regular size tomato I suppose, like supermarket size but with flavour, really good flavour and well worth growing. San Marzano, my Italian heirloom plum tomato, the best plum tomato flavour going and really good. The only downside to that is it possibly, well not possibly, it would do better with glasshouse conditions where it's going to get a bit warmer, because they can be a pain to get to ripen late on in the season, owing really to the size of the fruits. You know, we're talking proper plum sizes. Alternative plum tomato, which again I always grow, is Roma. Fantastic performer, does so well. Flavour not quite so good as San Marzano, size smaller, but just a good performer. Big Daddy, again, a really good size fruit, not quite a beefsteak, but again, flavour really good. Saved my own seed of that last year, so I made sure that I had that. Just move the chair. Costoluto Fiorentino, again, it's a large fruiting variety. Good flavour. The only downside I would say is it takes a while to ripen up, but potentially that could get replaced by Pantano. We'll see. Bountiful, again, another good size variety. Worked well outside last year. Probably not as good a flavour as Fiorentino, but a very good doer. Now Akron is a new variety, or newish variety. Essentially it's a replacement in a lot of garden centres now for Gardener's Delight, on the basis that Gardener's Delight, there's real crop issues, certainly with cleanliness of seed, and so there's been a lot of seed restrictions for imports. But Akron is very much as meant to be very much as reliable as Gardener's Delight, and a good variety, so we shall see. Right, Rapunzel, new for me this year. Got it based on the fact that ridiculously long trusses and will perform outside as well as under glass, so that's a selling point for me. Definitely want to give that a go. Now, Indigo Cherry drops. I've tried lots of different purple varieties of tomato, all are pretty bland in my opinion, but cherry drops is meant to be a very good sweet flavour. It's recommended more for glasshouse growing, but I'm going to see how it performs outside. Then onto this lot. Now I did a seed swap with a lady on Instagram, Farida. Sent her some chili seeds in exchange for rows of quartz, which is what I wanted, which is a bit like cherry drops but a pink version of. Sent me this nice little card which basically says that she knows I only wanted the one variety, but she didn't have the control, so she sent me a selection of everything she was growing and saved. So I've ended up with 9 different varieties. Some of these are a reflection of her nationality. So we got Amber Baron, Bethlehem Fire, Beautiful Something Orange, Rosa Quartz, Batianya, which I've looked up is sort of a Balkan region variety, Bulgarian Wonder, it's actually Minusinsk Stakany, which is a Russian variety, again supposed to be very good, Pink Elephant, and Zailiysky Alatau possibly. But so they're the varieties that she sent me, so I'm looking forward to giving those a go. So I end up with 23 varieties of tomatoes to grow, plus a couple of tomatillos. And really, next stage is getting outside into the greenhouse and doing a bit of seed sowing. Right, in the greenhouse, got my trays, multi-purpose compost, been given a good water and left to stand for, well, about an hour and a half now. Now these are slightly larger cell than I've used for some of my normal veg, but this is the cell that I use for tomatoes and for chilies. So within this tray, 12 cells as you can see, and it depends which way you're going to do it, but I'm going to be doing it this way, so that in each run I'm just going to have 3 cells of each variety. Ultimately I'll probably only end up with, well, I'll only have 3 plants as a maximum, but I'll probably actually end up with just keeping 1 plant by the time I get to planting stage, because my allotment's not big enough to have the 20 odd varieties. So starting with this one, Super Marmande, pop my label in and let's get some seeds out. So quite small seed, and where I've got this variety that has quite a few seeds in it, I'll multi-sow, so put in a couple of seeds. I might just put 3 in each. Generally speaking, I always try to multi-sow where seed quantities allow, I should say. And so I always multi-sow into the cells, and then that basically means that out of 3 seeds per cell, at least 1 should germinate, is the thinking. And that way you're going to always end up with a plant in each cell coming up, and it means that essentially you're not then going to have to re-sow at a later date to then try and get your numbers. So that's why I multi-sow anyway. So for the time being, all I'm going to do is 4 different varieties within the cell tray, and then I'll show you once I've finished the tray and got to the covering stage. Right, first tray filled up. Because we're dealing with tomato seeds that are relatively fine, I tend to use vermiculite as a covering source. It's just going to cut out the light, get into the seeds, which will initiate germination. It retains good moisture, and also as it breaks down, it releases plenty of micronutrients, which really help the seedlings get going. So, tray covered over. It's a dry volcanic type product, and if you leave it dry, it will then pull the moisture out of that compost and from around the seed. So what we'll do is give it a water just to get that moisture in, and to ensure that you get consistent moisture around that seed to ensure that you get good germination. And that is the first tray done, and they will go into the heated propagator, and hopefully we'll see germination on those within about a week to 10 days. So let me get the rest finished, and then I'll see you once we get some germination going. Wanted to show you these. So it's 2nd of March, 5 days on from seed sowing. Look at those. The first lots of tomatoes all popped up. Now they weren't there yesterday, so not yesterday morning. That's flipping amazing. But I did also notice through a conversation with someone last night, or remember I should say, that I had these seeds, 9.44 LaRue, that came from Giant Veg 2024, start of 24, and so these are my saved ones, so I need to sow those as well. Watch this space. Right, here we are, tomato update time, 5th of March, 8 days on from seed sowing, and started getting the trays out on the heated mat, so no longer in the propagator. So most of the cells have got their multiple seeds have come up. You've got a few of the cells with nothing as yet. I say nothing, there's a tiny sprig there. And it kind of highlights actually the reason why I do my multi-sowing of seeds in each tray, or each cell I should say, because out of, say, for argument's sake, we'll take Akron, you can see that there's 2 seedlings have germinated there, 2 there. At the moment, nothing in that one. So if it continued where nothing germinated in this one, I would still have 4 potential plants available to me to select, which is still more than obviously if I'd sown 1 seed in each of these cells. Now if I'd sown only 1 seed in each of those cells and had the same 2 germinate, and nothing in that one, then I'd only have obviously the 2 plants available, which would have left me short. So as it stands at the moment, we've got tomato Akron, Bountiful, Pantano, Burpees Long Keeper, Amber Baron, Rose of Quartz, Batianya Pink Elephant, Super Marmande at the moment, just looking like 4 seedlings germinated, Marzano, Bloody Butcher, Koralik, Big Daddy, Roma, Costoluto Fiorentino and Honeycomb there, all doing their thing within the propagator. So you notice that at this stage now the lid is off, so as soon as you get your seedlings showing, I take the propagator lid off, because otherwise you're just going to get this plants will get drawn up, and generally speaking, if these have germinated, then you'll find that the ones in the other cells will not be too far behind. So within here we've got Minusinsk Stakany, I think. So these are the foreign ones. Bethlehem Fire, Beauty Lottringa Orange. We've got Zailiysky Alatau, maybe. The 2 tomatillos, so tomatillo purple, tomatillo verdolino. Then we've got Indigo Cherry and Rapunzel. So that's the update for the 5th of February on everything that was sown on the whatever we were of 5th of March from whatever date we were on February sowing. After conversation with Kevin at Giant Veg, I remembered that I had some seed of his that I'd saved from last year, well indeed from my own fruit, which was that massive one, which was the 9.44 LaRue. So I sowed that 3 days ago, and also the Minibel. So that's 2 other tomato additions, and that's where we're at. So 9th of March, back in the greenhouse, 12 days on from seed sowing of tomatoes, and here we are. So we've got the first few there: Honeycomb, Costoluto Fiorentino, Roma, Big Daddy. Then we have Koralik, Bloody Butcher, Marzano, Super Marmande. Then we got the couple of tomatillos. Then we got Indigo Cherry and Rapunzel. Minusinsk Stakany, Bethlehem Fire. We got literally a couple, 1, 2 so far, of Beauty Lottringa. Zailiysky Alatau is just the 1 at the moment. Then there's Akron, Bountiful, Pantano, Burpees Long Keeper, Amber Baron, Rose of Quartz, Batianya, Pink Elephant. So they're all doing well, and my late sowings also looking good. So Minibel and 9.44 LaRue, which is the giant one, and that is the update on all the tomatoes. So that is it. That's the seed sowing to viable plant stage done. If you've got any questions, then obviously send those questions to me. I'll do my best to answer them as always. If you've liked the video, then please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that reminder button so you don't miss out on future videos. And above all else, just have fun, enjoy yourself, and perhaps try one of the different varieties that I've shown in this video. Maybe not all 25 of them, but at least 1 or 2. So till next time, bye for now.